We regret to inform you that we will not be moving forward with your candidacy in this position, though we wish you the best in your future applications. So this is a line that I have heard, that I've more so read than heard, many times in the jobs I've applied for since graduating high school. Because I graduated high school and I didn't go and I'm not in college, jobs is a topic for me that is in the forefront of my mind, hence my YouTube channel. Not just because of that, but mainly, creative endeavors, right? I want to be in the creativity fields. And YouTube technically allows me to do that. So I want to go over some different topics that I've observed through that are in the job sector, and the first step to getting a job is doing the job search. I usually go to these major job board websites and put in what I want, and then the results pop up. I don't like most of these boards, and I especially don't like one in particular because a lot of the search results that I put in, like the keywords I use, I'm looking for this job, a lot of the search results I get are indeed not what I'm looking for. And a lot of them don't fit my criteria. And it's not that I don't think I have a huge list of criteria, so my options are super, super niche, narrow. I focus on entry level, right? Positions at a company. Then I go to mileage if it's in like 25 miles of me, something like that. And if it's like the average pay for somebody with my experience and schooling. Those are like the three main criteria I look for. And usually what'll happen is one of three things. And that is either some of the jobs that'll come up. It's like, okay, we matched all your criteria, but it's 65 miles away from you, by the way. That'll be like one job posting. Then a lot of them will be irrelevant to my search. I search entry level, they give me senior positions. I search entry level, they give me I search entry-level office assistant jobs, and they give me jobs as a server at a restaurant. And then the third scenario, a lot of the times what happens is they give me the job that I want entry-level, office assistant job. It's 10 miles away from where I live. The pay is the average amount for that experience, for that job posting and that degree. But then they're like, okay, high school diploma, that's fine, but you need 8+ years experience working as an office assistant, working as whatever the entry-level position is. And I'm thinking, all this experience, I just graduated high school. Where am I supposed to get this experience? Because most of these companies that I apply for, or not even apply, that I read what they're looking for, they want either degrees or experience. Most certainly the high school degree they want. Okay, like that's, for almost every job, that's the bare minimum. But then a lot of jobs they want college degrees. Okay, you don't have the college degrees, then do you have experience or a combination? And I just think to myself, where am I supposed to be getting all this experience from? I don't understand. I am 20 years old. How am I supposed to have 8 years plus experience working in this sector, in this field, whatever it is, office assistant or whatever other job? And it's supposed to be entry level. I I don't understand that. And and it I mean, I don't know if they expect me to be volunteering my time while I'm in school, volunteering my time I'm not in school to those positions that one day I'll apply for, or they expect me to get a job that, okay, like most jobs, your first jobs are retail or some job that it's like mainly for the money. You're not, you don't see it as the end goal for you. Some people do, but for most people, retail is not the end goal, and that's most people's first jobs. So, do they expect me to, when I'm not working retail, to be volunteering my time to gaining experience in this entry level position? I don't even know how you maybe I'm very unaware. I don't know how you volunteer time for an administrative job. Like, what you, like, I don't know what you would volunteer at for that would be applicable to administrative positions. But even if they're out there and I'm working, if I'm doing school, I'm in school most of the day, high school. And then if I'm doing a job, I have a job on top of that. But even if I graduate high school, I'm doing a full-time job because I'm not in college. So I'm focusing on making money and building the career I actually want. So I'm not going to, I don't really see the point of volunteering on my off time from my job for another job that is not my end goal. I might as well work towards what I truly want. That's what I'm doing right now. Try my luck at that. So the experience and then the diplomas, I don't know why you need all these years of experience or even diplomas to do certain jobs, such as administrative jobs, certain admin jobs, or any entry-level positions. I don't understand. Like, I understand as far as, okay, college institutions, they want money and they want to keep the status quo. And as far as experience, it looks better on paper if your employees have more experience, of course. But then this leaves like a sort of people such as myself, which I don't have it the worst by any means. It could be a lot worse for me. So I, complain about jobs and in my life, but it's not terrible. It's just that because I chose not to go to college and I don't have all these years of experience in certain, because I don't have experience in certain sectors, or roles, positions, then I'm shut out from most of the jobs. That leaves me with, currently the jobs that are primarily, if not all available to me, are retail jobs and childcare jobs, which I don't want to do either of them until retirement. So it's like this. It's really, really fascinating to me how, even jobs that I could get full-time that are outside of both childcare and retail, the pay is low for full-time. Like, it's fine, but it's low, and or maybe they don't offer benefits or certain benefits that are pretty essential, especially if I'm not getting paid much. So it's very tricky to navigate this position that I'm in now, that it's like a lot of people would say, oh, you put yourself in this position. You chose not to go to college. And I did, in a way, put myself in this position. I did, because I chose not to go to college. I made that decision. And I guess I choose not to volunteer at certain places if that would give me experience. However, I chose not to go to college because I'm not going to have a whole discussion about college and schooling because that's a whole nother video. But I don't feel that for what I truly want to be, which is creating videos and being an author and my other all these ideas I have in my head, I don't believe I need to sit in a classroom and get graded on it. On if I can excel in this field. It's just about actually, for me, it's about doing it, publishing it, and seeing how it goes. And that doesn't mean I'm not trying to be arrogant here. I want to learn more about all of this from people who have done it. Learn about, especially writing, the craft from people who have done it, who have published books, and get their feedback. You know, it's not that I think my writing is superior or amazing, because it definitely, when I reread all of my writing, whether it's journaling's a little bit more personal, but especially when I read the books that I'm working on, I'm just like, you know what? It could be so much sharper. It could be so much better. I could, fix so many aspects of this to make it the best I know how. And there's so much for me to learn about writing, as far as just like the grammar, like grammatical errors, and and also just in the other side of that, where it's like just language and learning how to articulate myself in a way that suits that project. It's fascinating to me, and there's, like I said, there's so much to learn, and people that can help me in this. I just don't feel that I need, as I said, to be in college to be able to do that. It may help in certain ways, like I could be around other people who want that, but it's not worth it to buy into the college system, like the grading, the testing, the classroom, the entire setup. It's not for me. So I'm in this category of people who, as I said, I don't have the experience, don't have the degree, so only a very limited amount of options are available for me because of the way that the job system is pretty much set up. So there's that. And then the other aspect to me that is very fascinating are the interviews. Most certainly the interviews and jobs. Questions they ask, such as, why do I want this job? Well, because I need money. That's why I want this job. I was getting ready to curse, as they say, a cursor, which is so, okay. I don't know if I want to get into those words right now, the history of that. But anyways, I need money, but it's not so much job friendly to say that. So I say, I want this job because I think that it'll be a good fit for me, and I bring up, what attributes about myself that I think will help me in this role. But that's another very fake aspect of jobs to me, is that when I'm sitting in the interview with the person, I'm just like, you know what, thinking, no, I need money. That's what I wanted. I need money, and this is a job that you may hire me because of my credentials, lack thereof. Therefore, it's, retail, or it's another job where they provide you on the job training. So that's why I'm here. I don't genuinely want this job. However, it's not job friendly to say that, because then I look, in the interview, I look like, I look either spoiled, or I look, like, why do we want somebody who doesn't genuinely want the job? But I mean, it's being honest. It's getting real with people and getting real with yourself. I mean, most people don't say or want retail until retirement, or certain other jobs. It depends on the person. And it goes for all jobs. I bring up retail a lot because I've worked retail, and that's, a standard example. However, there's all types of jobs that people don't want till retirement. So, but in the interview, you can't, or it's not suggested that you say that. And then the question about tell me about yourself. Well, tell me about yourself. Do you really want to know about me, though? It's like the how are you doing question, which is I'm going to get into in another video, but do you really, truly want to know about me? Do you actually care about me? I really don't think so. So why do I need to answer this? What are my strengths and my weaknesses? Well, my strengths is eating. My weakness is getting up early. That is certainly my weakness. Where would you like to be in your career 5 years from now? I would not like to be here, I can tell you that much. Okay, let's see. It's still recording. And then another aspect that I want to go over in this video is the jobs in time. Jobs consume most of everyone's adult life, if not all of your adult life, depending on, when you start working part-time, full-time, whenever. And there's some people, fortunately, have jobs that they love and they do it until retirement. They love it. Unfortunately, there's other people who work a job until retirement that they dislike or hate, and that's most of your life. And it's jobs, the job world is something that brings time, just brings the awareness of time, as silly as this may sound, so much to the forefront for me. Incredibly to the forefront in my brain. Jobs put into perspective for me, probably the most out of anything else, how much time passes, how I'm looking at how frequently I look at the clock, how slow my life may seem at times to be moving, but then how fast it's moving. I'm 20 years old now. I was 18 yesterday, and I'm going to be 22 tomorrow. I'm going to be 30. I'm going to be 40. And I would hate for myself to be still working a job when I am in my 40s, 30s, that I don't truly want or enjoy. This may sound silly to some, because a lot of the creative endeavors, it's like a very much hit or miss. It's a very harsh, it's harsher than I can even imagine, because I'm not even so much I'm not fully into it. I'm into this YouTube, but I haven't even released a book yet, and I want to. There's so many projects I want to get out there, so I don't even know the full extent to how harsh this realm can be. So as opposed to some other jobs where it may give more security, but it's not something I truly want to do. That's the paradox to it. And I look at the clock I'm so aware of okay, what time is it? I have X amount of time until I have to get up and get ready to go to my job. I have X amount of time before I get my break. I have X amount of time before I have to get back to my job. I have X amount of time before I'm done for the day. I'm so conscious about the times, and I'm so like, what time is it? What time is it? What time is it? I have to do this and this and this. I have to do that, that, and that at this time, that time. I have to be pretty structured. And this is going to sound so silly and stupid to some people, though I'm not a person who, it may not be surprising to some people, I do enjoy structure, though not necessarily all the time, or maybe I just like creating my own structure, right? Most people just want to be, how does the quote go? The captain of their own, like, I can't remember. I can't remember the quote, but, oh yeah, it sounds lovely, right? It sounds beautiful, literature, right? I want to be the driver of my life. It sounds poetic. Though it's true, and I can't get it in every way of my life. I understand, and it's not always about getting what I want, or I'm always going to be able to control my times, because sometimes I can't, but I don't like how much I'm so concerned about the times, like, what time is it now? What time is it now? Because I got to do this in 15 minutes, or I got to get to bed right now, because then I'm going to have X amount of hours of sleep. I just want to be able to go more with the flow and be able to just take in more of my natural environment and not be so consumed by the clock ticking or the numbers on the screen. And with jobs, the job I work now is with any job where I'm an employee as opposed to a self-employer. That's what it is. Because I'm an employee. I have to report here at this time, which, it makes sense. They're counting on me to be their employee, right? They're not going to have somebody who's not dependable to be here at this time and that time. So that makes complete sense. I understand that. I just said, just for me, I want to be a self-employee. That's what it comes down to, not an employee. So, yeah, it just consumes. And, before I know it, as I said, the time just goes by like this, even though it's not really going by faster, but I am going to be older tomorrow in the next hour. And so much of my time was wasted, I feel, in compulsory schooling. So much of my time was wasted. And I couldn't control it, really, because it's like the adults in your life telling you, oh, well, this is good for you. Oh, you have to be here. The legalities, the government saying you have to be here because, it's for your own good, and which is BS to me. But yeah, so much of my time was wasted, and I don't want to continue this cycle of now wasting my own time, because now I have a little bit more, not completely, but I have a little bit more leeway, a little bit more say as to how I spend my time. And I want to spend that time on what I truly want to do until, for the rest of my time that I'm alive. And so, and being an employee is not a part of it. So I hope that this video was interesting to some, at least some. I really hope so. Hopefully somebody subscribes. Hopefully somebody views it. Please subscribe. And please, share it to somebody once again if you think they're gonna like this content. I know my videos are long, but it's not, it doesn't go with the norm of today with a bunch of short videos. I know that, and I try to make it not super boring. So yeah, please, somebody, give me a hand.